So when it comes to maxing out your looks, when it comes to maxing out your physique, become the most physically attractive man that you possibly can be, to stand out, to more importantly be more confident and have a higher sense of self-esteem, actually like the man that you see in the mirror. But when it comes to dating, when it comes to attracting women, you're going to see that being lean is the ultimate cheat code to attracting women from a physical standpoint, as far as being physically attractive to women. Because here's the issue that a lot of guys run into, is that they think that when it comes to the gym, when it comes to lifting, it's all about being big as hell, being swole, and just trying to get like as huge as possible. Now, if you're just trying to pack on as much size and strength as you possibly can, and like maybe you are a professional bodybuilder, maybe you're like a strongman lifter, whatever, then okay. But if you're trying to become more physically attractive to women facially and physique wise, and you want to actually stand out to them, and you actually want to have that look that women are hardwired to seek out in the men that they are not only physically attracted to, but they also want to reproduce with, at least on a biological level, bro, being lean is where it's at. Being lean is where it's at, because when you're lean, facially you look better, physique wise you look better. There's so many different benefits to being lean, and that's why I say it's like the #1 cheat code to attracting women when it comes to just being more physically attractive overall. And that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to dive into this because this is very important when it comes to just being more aesthetic and attractive to women. So the first point, man, is that when you're lean, you're just going to overall be able to showcase more of your best physical features. So facially, you're going to look more attractive. Your cheekbones are going to be a lot more prominent. They're going to stand out a lot more. You're going to have a sharper and defined jawline. You're going to have more hollow cheeks. Now, of course, every man's bone structure is going to be different. Every man's genetics are going to be different. But for the majority of the men out there, they have a good amount of facial structure and development for them to actually stand out and look more facially attractive when they strip a lot of the body fat that is around their face specifically. Guys will be like, oh, I'm cooked. Women don't find me attractive. I'm not getting results on dating apps. I'm not getting choosing signals. Jordan, I'm not getting women to approach me. Which, here's the thing, like with choosing signals and girls approaching you, you're more so going to experience those type of behaviors from women in places like lounges, bars, and clubs, because those are going to be the environments where people are meeting each other, right? It's socially implied that when you go to these places, you're going to be interacting with people in this way. So you're going to see that women are going to find it more socially acceptable to do that. Also, you got to be that attractive dude that they're into. But here's the thing, guys will think that they're cooked. Guys will think that they don't have the genetics to be more attractive. Now, of course, every man's genetics are going to be different, but here's the thing, you can max out your genetics. You can actually become more physically attractive. A lot of guys just don't want to put in the work. Guys will think they're cooked because they're not getting the type of female attention that they want, whether this is in person and or online. But the thing is, like, they have high levels of body fat. They're not in shape. They have a stomach on them. They don't look like they actually have strong proportion of muscle mass. They don't look athletic. They don't look healthy. But then they're like, oh, am I naturally cooked? It's like, you're not cooked, but you're under leveraged, right? You're not maxing out what's in your control. You don't look like the physically attractive version of yourself that you otherwise could be if you put in the work, if you have the proper systems in place that will allow you to achieve that, right? And when you get lean, you're going to see that your face is going to just look more attractive overall. Because again, you're going to showcase all those different sharp features, the cheekbones, the hollow cheeks, the sharp jawline. Your facially, you're just going to look more attractive because your bone structure is going to be revealed a lot more because it's not hidden behind layers and layers of fat. Same thing with your physique, right? When you're packing on lean muscle mass and size to you, but you're actually leaning down, you're getting shredded, you're going to look more proportionate. You're going to look bigger than you actually are. You're going to look stronger than you actually do. That's really how that V-shaped physique comes into place, because that's the physique that is proven to be the most physically attractive and desirable to women. Just like how we like women to have that hourglass shape, right? Slim waist, nice ass and legs and stuff like that. They like the same thing, but on the flip side, as far as focusing on a man's upper body, they love a man with strong, sleek, proportionate legs and glutes and stuff like that. They definitely do. They like a man from head to toe physically, but their focus is going to primarily be on the V-shaped physique. But when you're packing on actual lean and strong, dense muscle mass, but you're actually lean, you're at a lower body fat percentage, let's say like around 10 to 12% for most men. Now, if you're more on the heavier set, some men are going to be able to naturally be lean like that, like myself. Other men who are just naturally heavy, like they may struggle with that, but the majority of men can get close to that 10 to 12% body fat range. But you'll see that you'll be at a low level of body fat enough to where like you still have a good amount of mass and size to you, but obviously like you can see the muscle definition to your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your back, back. You have six-pack abs that are peeking through, like they're visible. They're not soft or anything like that. You may have more vascularity in your forearms and your shoulders and your chest. Like you just look more capable. You look strong. You look proportionate. You look aesthetic. And you're going to see that men in particular, they're going to think that you are actually bigger than you are when you actually have a good amount of proportionate, dense muscle mass to your frame, because your muscles are popping out a lot more. They just look a lot more dense, especially if you're lifting heavy, you're tracking your calories, you're hitting your protein intake, but you're also at a low body fat percentage. Like you're just going to look bigger than you actually are. And it's more so an illusion, just because you can see more of the muscle mass and density that you built up because they are not hidden under layers of fat. And you just have to also understand that the leaner that you are, just the more healthy you look, and you're able to showcase these physical traits that I'm describing, because these are the physical traits that women are hardwired to seek out in men, that not only are they physically and sexually attracted to, but that they want to reproduce with these men, because these men have this strong traits and genes. At least that's the thing. You can signal that you have these healthy, strong genes by maxing out what's in your control, and really leaning down is going to be a huge driver into achieving this, as far as looking more physically attractive and signaling out high quality, healthy traits to women. And once you achieve that, once you lean down facially and physique wise, you're going to be able to then signal these traits to women. And on a biological level, these women are going to be not only physically attracted to you, they're going to be sexually attracted to you more so. If not only they're physically attracted to you, but you guys have vibe and chemistry, but on a biological level, they're going to want to reproduce with you because you have the traits that are signaling health, vitality, higher levels of testosterone, all the different traits that are needed to reproduce healthy offspring that survives. So that's the first point, man, is that when you're lean, it just reveals more of your physical features that will make you more attractive. A lot of guys think that they're cooked. A lot of guys think that they don't have the genetics to be attractive, but most of these guys are average, which is good, because that means that you're starting at a neutral level, and you just have to put in the work with the proper systems that are engineered to get you the results that you want, right? Like as far as the lean facial aesthetics, the lean, strong, proportionate, masculine aesthetic physique, like all these different physical traits and attributes that make a man attractive. When you lean down and you have an effective system that allows you to do that, you're going to be more attractive, bro. I'm telling you. Also, you're just going to appeal more to the female gaze, because women don't like the big, bulky, freaking just giant ball of muscle, right? They like the more sleek, aesthetic, proportionate type of physique and look on a man. Like they like more of that strong, capable, athletic look to a man physically, and then the lean facial aesthetics that showcase the cheekbones, the jawline, the hollow cheeks, all those different physical traits and attributes, because again, they are hardwired to seek out those physical traits in men that they reproduce with to have healthy offspring. I like to break things down on a biological, scientific level, but just because it gives the actual reason and logical proof behind why women find these traits physically attractive. So that's the first point. Then the second point is that when you're lean, it does show a level of discipline, and you're also becoming more rare as a man, because like when you are in shape, when you are lean, when you have strong proportionate muscle mass, when you just look healthy, you have that lean aesthetic face, your cheekbones are popping, your jawline's popping, you got the hollow cheeks, you look like you take care of yourself, you have a grooming routine, a skincare routine, you wear clothes that fit your body well. Like just overall, when you become more of this holistically attractive man, you're gonna stand out to women and you're gonna be a lot more rare. See, that's the thing, like the more attractive and the better in shape you get, the more of a rare man you become, and the more internal and invisible social status you have. It's almost like you have an invisible blue check mark hanging above your head without actually needing clout and status on Instagram to have status, because women, when they see an attractive man, that attractive man already elicits social status just by him being good looking and in shape and attractive, because he's rare as he is. And because again, he has those physical traits that women want. Because there's literally studies that show, I feel like I always say these studies in my videos all the time, but I think this is very important. Plus, like people that are watching this video may have not watched those videos in the past, but there are studies that show that 8% of men in the United States, I reference the United States because that's where I live, but 8% of the men in the United States have six-pack abs. But that's not accounting for all the other things I told you. That's not accounting for the lean, proportionate, strong muscle mass. It's not accounting for aesthetics. It's not accounting for any of that stuff, right? The leaner you are, the more rare you become. Because if there's only 8% of men that have six-pack abs in the United States, where does that put you when you have the lean, proportionate, strong, dense muscle mass and the aesthetics to go along with the six-pack abs? Six-pack abs don't just mean that you're in shape as far as like holistically, as far as the complete physique. No, that just means you have six-pack abs, right? So you're becoming more rare, but also you have the discipline, right? You have the discipline to stay lean, to not get fat. You showcase that you actually take care of yourself, which showcases high levels of self-worth and confidence to women. Because by you taking care of yourself and them being able to see that by looking at you, that's another reason why a lot of women will project confidence onto you. See, a lot of women project positive traits onto handsome and attractive men, and part of that is a halo effect where when you're good looking, whether this is a good looking man or a good looking woman, a lot of people will project positive traits onto them just because they're good looking, right? It's almost like good looking equals good. That's how the halo effect is. But you're gonna see that women will project confidence onto you because you take care of yourself, right? If you take care of yourself, it's because you view yourself in a higher regard. And if you view yourself in a higher regard, it's because you have reasons to be self-assured about yourself. You have reasons to have a strong belief set in yourself, which showcases confidence, right? That's why a lot of people will judge you based on your appearance. Call it superficial, call it what it is. It's just natural. Instead of bitching about it, instead of complaining about it, instead of being like, oh, woe is me, oh, I want to change the world, like I hate that people think this way. Unfortunately, bro, you're not. For good or for the bad, like these things are what they are. Leverage it to your advantage. Understand it, but leverage it to your advantage. But by being lean, not only are you showcasing more discipline, which discipline requires you to also be mission-oriented, driven, ambitious, which those are traits that women do find attractive, but you're becoming more of a rare man physically because you're lean. And when you're working out, you're packing on lean muscle mass, you actually have that aesthetic V-shaped physique. Bro, you're just becoming more of an outlier man. And there's even a study that shows that only 1 out of 25,000 men aged 35 and older have six-pack abs, which is statistically less common than being a multi-millionaire in the United States, bro. That goes to show you how rare of a man that you are. That goes to show you how rare of a man that you are when you're lean, but you also have strong, proportionate, dense muscle mass to go to your frame, and just overall you're taking care of yourself and becoming more of a physically attractive man, which is exactly why, bro, like definitely check out that free training after this video. That way you can see different ways that I've been able to leverage my overall lean aesthetic look and how I've been able to help other men achieve that lean aesthetic look, but also leverage it in our favors when it comes to dating and attracting women and literally using it as a cheat code. Go ahead and check that free training out after this video because, bro, I'm telling you, once you get that cheat code and you unlock it, dating is so much easier. And then moving on to the third point is that when you are lean, bro, it makes you look younger. It makes you look younger. It makes you look more strong, capable, energetic, especially like the older you get as a man. When you're lean, when you have that V-shaped physique, you actually look strong and capable, but also your facial aesthetics are popping, like your jawline, your cheekbones, the hollow cheeks. Especially as you get older, like in your 40s and so on, you're gonna look more young than guys who are gonna be like in their 20s. Like that, I feel like around that, like the late 30s to mid 40s, when you're in shape and you're lean and you take care of yourself, I feel like that's truly like the prime age for a man, because you're at that age where women like look at you as a man, you have that maturity to you, but you're also like, when you're lean, when you have that strong V-shaped physique to your frame, they're gonna be physically attracted to you, but you're also gonna have that masculine energy and look and appeal to you. And the thing is, the older you get, the more you're gonna stand out. That's why I think that if you're a man, like I'm 28, I turn 29 next month, if I can stay in this shape relatively as close as I can as I get older to like my 40s, like late 30s, early 40s, mid 40s, like I'm gonna stand out a lot more compared to men that are gonna be in their 20s. And same for you if you're an older gentleman watching this, because the stats of a man being lean and having that type of physique at those age ranges is gonna be so much lower than men that have that type of physique and level of leanness in their 20s and late 20s and early 30s. The difference is just going to be so significant that so many men, the older they get, the less in shape and lean that they are. So you're just going to stand out even more, which you're going to be celebrated even more. And therefore you're going to even look even younger, because most men around your age aren't going to look the way that you do, which is why you're going to have more of that younger appeal to you. But also you have more of that maturation to you, more of that masculine vibe and energy to you, because you are older, but you're still physically attractive. So that's why, bro, you want to be as lean and as aesthetic and strong and as proportionate as you can, because the older you get, the more rare you will become and the more celebrated you will be, and the more you'll stand out from all the other men around your age, and you'll just be killing the competition, bro. You'll be killing the competition. And like I said, you're still gonna look younger. You may even look younger than some men in their 20s, late 20s, early 30s that don't take care of themselves as well. So just understand, bro, like being lean and having that strong, proportionate aesthetic physique is key no matter what age you are. And then moving on to the fourth and final point is that, bro, just being big and bulky, like that doesn't equate to attractiveness to women. Like women don't find that attractive. That's what I was talking about with the female gaze. They like that lean, strong, like athletic build to you. You just look more sleek. You look more attractive. Like you're gonna look better in clothes. You're not gonna look like a huge try hard. The big like huge bodybuilders that have the stringers and carry like the gallon of water around and stuff like that, like they just look too try hard. I believe there's like something to women where they want men that just look effortlessly attractive. Even if the man had to put in the work on himself, even if he does go to the gym, he does track his lifts, he does track his calories, he is lean, he has a skincare, a grooming routine. Like women will know that you're putting in the work on yourself, but like you almost have to act like you almost have to come off as if you don't. I know that doesn't make sense. Trust me, I know that doesn't make sense. But it's like they love a man that's good looking, that's in shape, that has all these physical attributes, but he almost carries himself as if he doesn't. Not in the sense of lacking confidence, but just more so not bringing attention and awareness to those things. That's what I call like effortless attraction, like the effortless attractive aesthetic. This is like a method that I teach men when it comes to dating apps and like social media, like how to create the proper types of content that make you look effortlessly attractive and not try hard and attract women to you. But that same principle applies with like your overall look. That's why the big bodybuilder look, it also doesn't look natural. It doesn't look natural. Like women almost like they want to look at you, be like, okay, like what would your genes look like with our children? And really women don't want children that have the big, like they don't want their children to grow up and have that big bulky look, because that's just not attractive, right? That's just not attractive. That's just too try hard. That doesn't look natural. But when you're lean, you have that proportionate aesthetic, strong physique. Your facial features are a lot stronger and more defined and more prominent. You're gonna notice, bro, that you're gonna just receive a lot more attention, a lot more attraction from women. You're gonna see that women are gonna be checking for you a lot more. You're gonna see that women are gonna be sliding up on your DMs. Women may be messaging you first on dating apps. Women are gonna be a lot more open, receptive, friendly, feminine around you, because you have that overall look that makes you more attractive, that makes you more aesthetic. And being lean, getting down to a lower body fat percentage is just gonna do wonders for a man facially when it comes to his facial aesthetics. It's gonna really bring out his genetics and allow him to really maximize what he has. You have to view yourself as like a big block of granite, and you have to chip away at yourself to create like that Greek god statue. Like a lot of guys think that they're cooked, like I said at the beginning of this video, and most guys are not cooked. Most guys don't have shit genetics. Most guys are just under leveraged. Most guys are not maximizing what's in their control. I promise you, most guys aren't. Go outside and look around you. Most guys are out of shape, they're overweight, obese, don't look like they take care of themselves. That's not shit genetics. That's not them being cooked. It's them being lazy. It's them being under leveraged. It's them not putting in the work. It's them not having a system that actually allows them to maximize what's in their control. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like getting lean, shredding down the stubborn body fat, packing on lean, strong, proportionate, aesthetic, muscle mass to your frame, and just overall becoming more physically attractive. I'm telling you, bro, that's the key when it comes to standing out to women, attracting women to you. You're gonna have a major competitive advantage in your favor when it comes to dating and just standing out amongst the majority of men that women come across and being more of her number one ideal option, at least physically. And then when you know how to leverage your physicality, when you know how to leverage the cheat code of being lean, bro, that's when you're really gonna be able to attract women to you and have a more thriving and abundant dating life. And this is what I've been able to help so many men achieve. I've helped so many guys achieve this. Guys that were overweight, guys that had that stubborn body fat that they couldn't get rid of, that they had that belly they just couldn't get rid of. Once they were able to get lean and shred all that body fat by using an effective system that's engineered to get those type of results, that's when the women started to come to them. That's when they were able to see that they weren't cooked. They were just under leveraged, right? So if you want extra help with that, check out that free training link down below in the description and the pinned comment. With that being said, I'll talk to you in the next video.